What's going on, everyone? So late last night, we got a shocking trade in which the New York Knicks acquired Karl Anthony Towns. Now, first off, when I got the notification, I had to double check because I was like, this is one of those parody accounts, because they do have Shams, notifications turned on X or Twitter or whatever. And when I got the notification, I was like, this is probably one of those parody sites, because you still will get notifications. I still randomly will just get some of these parody sites that'll just send me an alert. I'm like, okay. So I always double check. I always like to double check. And then I was like, oh no, this really happened. Right? I was like, holy, right? To see the Knicks, the offseason they had, go and keep OG, then bring in Mikal Bridges, and then bring in Karl Anthony Towns, right? Right now, they could go Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG, and Cat. And then when Mitchell Robinson gets healthy, go Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson. Stop. In all seriousness, the Knicks might end up being the best team in the NBA, right? And they still have Deuce, they still have Josh Hart, they still have several pieces that really kind of make an impact. Still have Precious, guys like that off the bench. Knicks are going to be tough, and they're in the Eastern Conference, man. The Knicks really push their chips into the table. But, obviously, Tyler, why are you talking about this as a Laker channel? Because I've seen, several comments and things pertaining to the Lakers, and also this does help the Lakers in a couple ways. Now, first off, let's address why didn't the Lakers trade for Karl Anthony Towns? And that's simple. They didn't have a 25 and 10 guy that they could trade, right? Julius Randle's still an all-star. The guy is, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5-6 assists, right? The guy is still really good. And they still gave up a first, and they gave up Dante DiVincenzo on top of that. Plus, they had to give up other assets to the Charlotte Hornets in order to be the third team in the trade. So the Lakers just don't have something like that to go get Karl Anthony Towns. But how does this pertain to the Lakers, right? Well, first off, I even made a video about the Knicks being competition. The Lakers need a center, and they need a center badly, but so do the Knicks. And the Knicks were kind of the only real other team that were in that position of desperation to really need a center. And it was kind of one of those things where it's the Knicks, they're probably willing to overpay for a center also. So if Valanciunas and all these guys start to become available, well, they were also a team that put in 2 firsts for Walker Kessler, right? So it was just man, the Knicks are this competition that's just going to keep trying to swoop in and steal the best centers for us in a market that's already incredibly limited on centers. So this now takes the Knicks out of that conversation. So that's great for the Lakers, because now the Lakers don't really have competition if these centers come up. There still might be a team or two where, some injuries end up happening to a team where maybe they need somebody, but how much and how far are they going to be willing to go to get these guys? So now if Walker Kessler is available, just puts the Lakers in a better position for potential trades in regards to, getting a Walker Kessler or Valanciunas whenever he becomes available, right? Now you don't have the Knicks that are hey, we'll give you a first for Valanciunas. And it's Valanciunas isn't worth a first, but the Knicks need a center and they're willing to overpay because their chips are all in, right? Karl Anthony Towns definitely makes the Knicks better. But one, they're in the Eastern Conference. We don't have to worry about them unless we get to the finals. And two, it completely removes them from the conversation for this center hunt as the Lakers try to navigate this market between now and the trade deadline, because the Lakers do need a center, and they need to address that kind of physical, big body type of center to kind of plug in. So one, the Lakers are never going to get Karl Anthony Towns, and two, this does do the Lakers a good service by taking some of these other teams, or taking the Knicks off the table now, to where the Lakers are now kind of in the driver's seat as far as centers go as these centers become available. But seeing a lot of people talk about this is great for the Lakers because it makes the Timberwolves worse. Maybe. Now, to me, it depends on which Julius Randle do the Timberwolves get, right? Julius Randle he's still, like I said, 24, 10, and 5, 6 assists per game. But Karl Anthony Towns did the best job on Jokic, right? Jokic himself said that the reason Minnesota was so hard was because of their two bigs. Now, I know some people are going to look and go, well, they have Naz Reid. Naz Reid is 6'9". He's not 7 feet with the, what does Cat have? Like a 7'4" wingspan, something like that, 7'5" wingspan, whatever it is. Like, he doesn't have that. Also, Karl-Anthony Towns shot over 40% from three-point range. So, Julius Randle is like 34%. Now, he has had a season where he was 35%, but to me, how does Julius Randle fit alongside Rudy Gobert? Right? Because Rudy Gobert, you can't pull out of the paint. So how does that operate and allow Julius Randle to kind of plug in and be dominant in the basket? Now, it does give the Wolves a little more physicality, right? Because Karl-Anthony Towns would rather stand outside on the perimeter and shoot threes than bang with the big boys down low, right? So for the Minnesota Timberwolves, right, they basically turned essentially a 7-foot 3-and-D wing into a legit 6'8" power forward who can be physical. Also, it gives the Timberwolves another element, right? With guys like Anthony Edwards and some of their young guys, right? Like Jaden McDaniels and these guys. What this does is this allows them to run a faster pace at times, right? Because Julius Randle can get the ball and just go. Right? He can run the break in transition, kind of make the plays, do what he needs to do, or just finish through contact. So it gives them another element that they just don't have at times. And then you can also pull out Rudy Gobert, put in Naz Reid, and go Naz Reid with Julius Randle, and have those two kind of in a pairing, and then Julius Randle could dominate the paint. That may end up being what ends up happening, to be honest, more times than not, especially down the stretch of games. But if they get like an inefficient, can't really shoot the three ball Julius Randle, I do think there is the potential that it hurts the Timberwolves more. Also, how does Julius Randle fit amongst this team? Right now, you would think like, okay, what this does is it gives them the same level of competent scoring, but also gives Naz Reid a bigger role, a bigger opportunity, and also, with Julius Randle, gives you a little more versatility in the type of offensive actions you can run. Also gives you a playmaker out of the post that can make some plays, right? So there are pros and cons either way. But Anthony Edwards is going to be your guy, right? And then you have all these other pieces. Like, is Julius Randle going to be kind of allowed to be Julius Randle? Because Julius Randle is best when you kind of just let him go, right? When you kind of let him be that near triple-double guy. You know, the guy will get you 25, 8, and 8, right? Or 25, 8, and 6, right? Like, that's the type of Julius Randle you need to get. They lose size, without a doubt. I still think Minnesota is going to be as good, if not maybe better, right? If they can get the Julius Randle from, like, what was it, 2 seasons ago, where he was basically a 20, he's 24, 10, and I think it was 20, just a hair under 25. He was like 25, 10, and 6, right? But he was like 40% from three-point range. If they can get that Julius Randle, then the Timberwolves are going to be very good, right? Very good. But if they get this kind of inefficient, kind of clunky alongside Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, right, then I do think that you could see a bit of a decline. Biggest factor is, one, Julius Randle does not have a good playoff history, right? Karl-Anthony Towns is hit or miss, and his IQ at times is incredibly frustrating, but he's had some big playoff moments for them, and in that Denver series in particular, right? Julius Randle has been a big question mark as far as the playoff performances go, and also his injuries. He has not been very healthy the last few years, right? So can he stay healthy? And can he fit in with the Timberwolves? If any of those are in question, then yes. Now, look, Karl-Anthony Towns, I know you're going to say Karl-Anthony Towns hasn't been a model of health lately and stuff like that, but he has been more reliable in the playoffs than Julius Randle has been. So that's something that kind of fits in. But ultimately, this helps the Lakers because it takes a piece off the board that could be competition. Right? Take somebody off the board that you had to worry about otherwise coming in, swooping in, and kind of, messing with your deals, right? Because it's just like, well, we can go wait and see what the Knicks got. Well, now you don't have the Knicks. So now if you're the Lakers, now it just makes it easier to kind of make that push if you inevitably make that trade for a center, whether it's a Valanciunas or maybe this is a Walker Kessler. Maybe you're able to get a Kessler. You're able to get some of these guys, right? It just gives the Lakers more advantage in these negotiations, where also, like I mentioned, the Knicks are a team that would probably sell the farm and then some in order to pull off a center if push came to shove. Where now you don't have that team that's willing to overpay. So even if you do have competition, they're all probably in the same realm as you are. So it probably is kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, we're getting the same deals either way. Where would you prefer to go? And some of these players might go, I'd rather go to Lakers. It takes the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest competition for the Lakers off the board. That's what it was. The Knicks were the biggest competition for the Lakers off the board. But anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. As always, this is a discussion. So first off, what did you think of the Knicks trade for Julius Randle, or for Karl Anthony Towns and Randle going to Minnesota? Man, like I said, when I first saw that, I was like, nah, this ain't real. Like, it came out of just like left field. It was like, what is happening right now? It's like, how did this happen? And lo and behold, man, the Knicks are going to be so tough. Look, it's not as simple as just putting 5 guys together, right? Obviously, there's some work that needs to be done, but man, could you imagine Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson? Talk about a balance of offense, defense, size, versatility. I mean, you're talking about OG, who's like 6'9", with like a 7'3" wingspan. You got Karl Anthony Towns, who's 7 feet. Mitchell Robinson's 7'1", right? You got Mikal Bridges, who's like 6'7", as your 2 guard alongside Brunson. Oh, man, it's just... And then you just sit here, you see the Lakers, and it's just like, oh... Man, we got D'Lo, Reeves, Rui. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.